All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, the first round of the NBA playoffs saw the Atlanta Hawks fly under the radar until the end of Game 1 versus the New York Knicks as Trae Young showed that, he is the real deal. And the Knicks in that series never had an answer for him. But now the Hawks must contend with a better Philadelphia 76ers team in the Eastern Conference semis, while they're also looking to do something that they've been unable to do since 1961 when they still call St. Louis home, which was to advance to the conference finals. So first and foremost, what the Hawks have to do, they must find a way to take advantage of Sixers center Joel Embiid not being healthy. Of course, we saw Embiid go out with the knee injury in Game 4 of the Sixers opening round series versus the Washington Wizards. The Sixers would lose that game, but then they would find a way to win Game 5 without his services. Now, getting back to the Hawks, though, Trae Young in that Knicks series showed that he is ready for the big time and he is built to deliver in the postseason as he averaged nearly 30 points per contest in that series, and the Knickerbockers never had an answer for him. You look at some of the important things to focus on in this series. Clint Capella versus Joel Embiid. Now, Embiid is 100% healthy, advantage Sixers. Capella is not going to be an offensive guy. He's going to, he's made his the bulk of his money in the NBA at the defensive end of the floor. And he has to find a way to slow down Embiid because he's not going to be able to stop him, even if Embiid is not 100% healthy. And I doubt at this point that when he gets out there that he will be 100% healthy for Philly in this series. The Hawks definitely will have to work more on defense in this series than they did in the first round versus the Knicks because, looking at the Knicks team, they really didn't have a go-to guy. Now, when you're dealing with this Philly team, even if Embiid is not 100%, you still got to worry about Tobias Harris, who's an inside-out guy. Seth Curry with his deep shooting. Ben Simmons, obviously he's not a perimeter guy, but you know what? He can lull you to sleep and get you about 16 or 17 points if you're not paying attention. Danny Green could go off, and you also have veterans like George Hill and Dwight Howard. I'm not saying that they're going to go off and get you big point production, but there is plenty of depth on this 76ers team, unlike it was with the Knicks, who the Hawks saw in the first round. You look at the veteran coaches, of course, Doc Rivers going up against Nate McMillan. Both of them have seen the wars in the NBA, both as players and coaches for many years. They know all about adjusting and adapting this time of the year. So I think both of these battle-tested guys are going to be ready for everything that this series brings to them. You look at it and you ask yourself, who wants it more? I look at Philly. They were so close a couple of years ago to get into the conference finals. Of course, they lost to the Raptors on that last-second shot by Kawhi Leonard. Philly was bumped out in the first round of the playoffs last year. New head coach this year in Doc Rivers, and they feel like this time is their time. For the Sixers, you know what? Trae Young is making himself a household name. If you didn't follow his brief career at Oklahoma collegiately, you know what? He showed that he can score. He's showing you once again that he can get it done in the NBA, and now he's showing you on the playoff level. So I think this is going to be an opportunity for him to flex his muscles a little bit more. It's going to be an interesting series because I expect Philly, who, like the Knicks, they are a good defensive team, but they have more players that they can throw at Trae Young and make him work for those shots a little bit more than the Knickerbockers were able to do. And like I said, even with Embiid not being 100%, because he is not going to be 100% healthy in this series, the 76ers have more depth and they have more people who can get the job done on the offensive end, unlike the Knicks. And I think the guy to look out for in this series is definitely going to be Tobias Harris. I think the Hawks will be game, but the Sixers are too deep. They're too good. They're too talented at both ends of the court. And because of that, I'm going to take Philly to get past Atlanta in this series in 6 games. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you are on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out, drop a line, and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. Take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.